Good morning, everybody. Happy Memorial Day
Om
and
Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya, end of May. Um, Good to be back. Um, it was quite a journey and good to see all of you. And thanks for joining us on this holiday weekend. We thought it would be good to share a little bit about the downloads from Bali and then some of the downloads from Dom and her, and then go into a meditation. So we may talk a little bit more than 15 minutes this morning. So just bear with us, and you can always listen back when we post it on YouTube. But as you know, we were called to Bali to connect with a group of people, and there were 9 of us, right?
Nine, yeah.
9. We were the only 2 from the US. We had most of the group was from Australia and 2 from New Zealand. Raeline Brady, who you may know on Facebook, I'll put a link below in the thing, led the group. She's an extraordinary person, an amazing healer, has been doing this work for 35 years all over the planet. Profound, really profound, very in tune. She lived in India for 12 years, basically as a brahmacharini, in charge of the water temple to the Ganges River. I mean, she's just been all over the planet and just really tuned in. So it was an honor to be with her and her group. They were all, as you all are, masters, incredible masters. And I will say this, from when we landed in Bali, it was a 36-hour trek from the United States, nonstop. It was like, um, it it takes, I guess, like India, time to acclimate to the energies, but it is by far one of the most extraordinary places on the planet that carries the divine feminine, and the energy there and the flow and the consciousness and the integration with the elements is like nothing I've ever experienced before. So if spirit calls you there, it's worth the trip. And it's a very reasonable place to travel to. And it's beautiful, right? It's just beautiful.
Beautiful. It's totally beautiful. It's a Hindu country for the most part, and they're really in tune with the galactic grid. They don't speak about it as far as the galactic grid, but you can tell in their practices they they're in a synchronicity as far as the changing of this, as source emanates. They're an awareness of offering 4 times a day to those different changes. And one of the things we really loved about Bali is it's on those ley lines, the dragon lines we call them, where they come together, and it's like a purification center. So you kind of get all of it there, you get
All of it.
you get the light and the darkness, because when you're purifying, what are you purifying? You're purifying the darkness. So it kind of comes up, but it's held in such an awareness and a container by the people. They all know there's like a group consciousness there. They all kind of have their role, and their role is to create community, to create a place of welcoming for Westerners, Easterners, their own, everybody that comes there. It's there's a sacredness in the treating of them, and an awareness of the dependency that we all have for each other. We all share this world together, and they need the tourism, right? And it's not just about they need the tourism. It's about what they have to offer, and their culture, and the dragons, and the volcanoes, and the temples, and the ley lines, and the synchronic grid of the galactic. So there's all there. And one of the things I think we really noticed was the way in which instantaneous your inner world is reflected in the outer world.
Totally. Instant manifestation. And that's what we're moving to in the 5D. It was, you would think it and it would happen.
Or it would be happening as you're thinking it. Like the happening is, oh, I'm thinking this now, and it's already happening. It's like, did I think it, or did it already happen and then I thought it? Like the delay between thinking it and happening. It's almost like the happening was before the thinking, because the human mind's picking up on the energy. and it's actually got a delay, really. So when you really slow it down and look at the process of how the energy moves and how it moves through the conditioning of our vehicles for us to have some kind of story around it or some kind of a relation to it.
Mm. So what I would say is Bali is a great representation of Lemuria and a great representation of that love and that devotion. Divine Mother is huge. Everything is the goddess. It's the goddess. It's the goddess coming up from the serpents. It's the goddess riding the dragon. It's the goddess holding the egg. It was a continual thing. And everywhere you go are temples, and the women dress in beautiful lace and dresses to do their offerings 4 times a day. There's such a deep level of devotion and flow and deliberateness that sometimes we miss here in the Western world. So the other thing I would say is in Bali, I think we were called there to hold those Lemurian codes, to hold that goddess energy that is being birthed right now on our planet. We're shifting timelines. We've had a huge shift, and it's no mistake we were there during all the solar activity. We even had an earthquake. I thought it was my meditation one morning. I was like, wow, this is so powerful. Everyone's like, oh, did you feel the earthquake? We had a 5.1 earthquake one morning at 6:30. You know, it was like the one volcano was going. So we were like in the epicenter of this incredible energy. And we saw the fire dance they do every night to honoring the divine feminine and masculine together, to merging everything is black and white, to merge the black and white, much like the mamos. They don't push away the darkness, they integrate it, they transmute it. So everywhere you go, murtis are covered with black and white check cloth. The pundits wear that. It's really an awareness and a presence of there's no separation. And so they're holding that on behalf of our planet. And so as we spent the time there, and their original culture was birthed through the goddess Danu, which is their goddess of the water. There's a giant statue. We went to a giant crater, which feels very much like Lake Manasorova near
Big
Mount Kylie. It
monster.
was created by volcanoes came up. It's this emerald green, crystal clear lake. A Hindu priest took us out on these boats. We did a water ceremony with water from all over the planet, Mary Magdalene's cave, to Scotland, to New Zealand sacred waters, I mean, it was amazing. And then he takes us on this boat, and there's this giant statue of this beautiful goddess riding this golden dragon holding an egg, and it's Devi Danu, you know, and it connects to the goddess in Ireland. So there is all these cultures tapped into this, and their original native culture was the religion of the water. So everywhere you go, even though you're near or surrounded by salt water, there are natural springs, and it's all about the purification and the water blessing of the mother and the water blessing of the consciousness. So we went to some of the oldest temples there and bathed in these sacred waters and did blessings and did ceremony, not only for humanity, but for the planet and the cosmos. So as we traveled there, you know, we were so filled with love and Shakti and flow. I mean, it was flow. We went to Italy, and we landed to join Kelly, who channels the Archangel Raphael, some of you may know, in Domenher, which is a place right outside of Turin. Turin, and outside of Milan. And it's a community that started 50 years ago with a person and 10 or 12 people who he had a download, and he basically was visited by people from Atlantis, and they visited him and invited him through this portal. He was very tuned in being as a child, as Atlantis was on the downward spiral, and they knew what was going to happen, and they kind of called on him to help or hold some energy to change the trajectory so there didn't have to be self-destruction, and to be a new timeline where we didn't have to play this out again in physical form. So over the past 50 years, he's cultivated hundreds of people. They've dug out these holes in the cave and created these
Temples,
crazy temples, nothing like we saw in Bali, which are all based on sacred geometry. And I mean, these are like secret passageways and weird symbols. And part of it was the art was an expression of the karma people had to work through in order to tap into the divine. It's like seva. And it was almost, the more obscure it was, the more they could clear the karma so they could get the teachings. I mean, digging in a rock hole is, to make a cave is not an easy feat with hands and no machinery and no tools. So what these people in Damanhur created is extraordinary. And they've had an incredible amount of opposition, not only
The
from
Italian government
the Italian government,
takes 15 years to get a permit. So
And
everything started in secrecy there, under the weather, under the, even the community. Sometimes the community doesn't understand what's going on, right? And there's a lot of opposition. Some of you have been probably in spiritual organizations where there was some opposition from the neighbors or something. I don't know if you've been around that, but it's just natural when you bring something new at a higher vibration. The old vibration is rocked by it, and there's a resistance that is created. So you have to kind of go slow.
And I think one of the reasons Kelly was called there, I mean, she was there once and she was called to go back, was she saw where some of the contraction was and some of the missing pieces were. And she used a lot of intuitive guidance and there's a lot of rules at Damanhur and a lot of levels and hierarchy. And she was very transparent with them. So kudos to her for really holding such a divine energy without judgment, without drama, without story, of just love. And we were all there and we all got codes to carry. And she was really honest with them. Here's what exists there and here's what you're missing. And
according to, her
inner
intuition,
guidance.
right?
And
her conditioning, she received it, and there's, of course,
and they were open to it. So they allowed us to sleep in the temples. They allowed us to do ceremony in places we weren't necessarily, all for the purposes of bringing that love back, bringing that flow, that divine feminine. It's a very masculine energy there. They work a lot with technology. They do a lot of research. They're using Atlantean, these are Atlantean beings that are reincarnated basically, and they use technology, not the kind you plug in, but the kind that you create through metals and spirals and wizardry, magic. I mean, it's magic. We saw things appear and disappear. I mean, it was not uncommon that, it was like Harry Potter, you're going up the stairs and it shifts and you're in a new place. That's how it was, and it's real, and you experience in this reality. So what I really acknowledge the Damanhurians, the people there, they were open and they really wanted the help. And all of you are part of that help, because the more love and the more non-judgment and the more expansion we have, the greater we can expand and not create another timeline, right? So there was no mistake, we kind of understood now. We went and embodied all this energy. And the codes we were carrying is, I was carrying the Lemurian dolphin temple, of course, divine union, twin flame. And actually the Atlanteans didn't even believe in twin flames. It was a trigger for some people. They only procreated for the purposes of their job being fulfilled. They had lost that, they didn't believe in the divine feminine and masculine merging, where it's completely the opposite in Bali. So there was an awareness we had of what we were bringing, and Michael was holding resurrection and Christ consciousness, right? Yeah. And so the work there unfolded. It was a test. There were times we were really tested of really leaning into what's really happening here. And the container that was created with the people there was extraordinary. Again, a bunch of beautiful masters and tuned into their own work. And I think that's what's happening here. So today, it would be great to just bring some of that integration to all of you, so you can hold that and bring it forward in your timeline and in your life and in your family and your community and your place of the world. And, there's no mistake. And I will say, for me, since I've been back, the vivid dreaming has been nonstop. It's almost like there's no, it's just, the orientation can be somewhat confusing because it's big.
So kind of in a little bit of a summary for me is having seen the Lemurian way and having seen the Western way, we don't have to make it Atlantean. It's the discernment that humanity's going through, right? And what is that discernment? We're moving to a place of heaven on earth. We're moving to a place of soul embodiment, soul realization. Some people call that the fifth dimension. Some people call it enlightenment, right? And there's a discernment that you have to go through, and that's a purification, right? And what is that purification? Purifying the ego, the personality, that which is mortal, that thinks it's the body, that thinks it's finite, that thinks it's
doing everything.
And the conditioning of that body is what needs to be purified, right? So that we are vessels of spirit, vessels of God's will, God's consciousness, God's love. And in that, when you come at it from a place of third dimensional, fourth dimensional, even with the best intentions, there has to be a level of awareness that there is some distortion, and they're aware of the distortion.
Mm-hmm.
And they're aware that they're aware of the distortion. And so there is this level of surrendering and being open to the greater impact of allowing, yielding to God, surrendering to the service of the, they're in that place of karma yoga. They're in that awareness. So it's great to see that we're all going that as a collective. It's kind of a microcosm of the macrocosm. And also what was really important for me to see was this dichotomy between the dragon lines of Earth. As we go through this process of enlightenment, there's a process of stewardship that we're going to become. We're emerging with planet Earth. That's our role. Humanity has a morphogenetic field where the neurons, where the communication device, there's a role that humanity has not stepped into, and that would be what we call the planetary logos, or the higher mind of the collective humanity. And so there's different levels, or not levels, different grids or different consciousnesses that we have in our body that we're activating when we go to these places. And you go to the dragon lines and you feel the electromagnetic energy, the consciousness of creation, and the purification of that energy that's moving. It's the vital force that's moving through you, the snake, the serpent, the kundalini, the mother, right? You can be afraid of it, right? Or you can be an acceptance of this awesome power that is the transformation that you think you're transforming, but it's really that energy that's transforming it. So you have that one level of coming online. Is, if you're afraid of that energy, you're going to shut it down, right? Rather than allow it to transform you in your one lifetime. And then on another level is the synchronic lines. And what are the synchronic lines? The synchronic lines are these lines that come through the galaxy. They're like the blood or the transportation, communication,
the neural pathways,
the pathways of communication for all intelligences. They were here before planet Earth was here. Earth was informed from the synchronic lines that come from the heart of the sun, right? And so all the intelligences in the galaxy, whether you call it Pleiadian, Arcturian, or Sirian, they're all connected through. And as you connect into them, you strengthen them and you become informed by them. You don't change them. They change you by being connected. So we could say, what is the galactic grid, right? There's more of an awareness of what that grid is and how to connect into it. Like when we think that trees are just trees, right? But the trees are symbiotic. They have the same DNA as us. You go hug a tree, you put the DNA on your skin, you will never get cancer. You can't. It's impossible because the DNA of the tree is so purified, so perfect. So there's a symbiosis that's happening. There's no reason why Merlin talks through the trees, because they connect to all the different civilizations in the galaxy. You think that that you're superior to the trees. The trees are what you connect into to be informed for the galactic. So there's all these awarenesses, and why the Bali people are offering trees, and they adorn the trees, and they put the black and white checkered things on the trees, because, and that's why they dominate her. They have a whole sacred tree garden there, because they understand that communication's there that most of humanity doesn't. They doesn't appreciate and doesn't know how to access. So this level of stewardship to the planet and the differentiation between the different ways of the chakras of the planet, the synchronic lines of the galaxy, all of those are in you. All of those are in being activated in you. Like this last full moons, I heard somewhere or read somewhere, it was, you're getting a sacral solar chakra activation, right?
Just what we need.
That's a consciousness of the planet, right? That's, I mean, of the sun. Solar consciousness. Solar is a galactic consciousness that's coming online. But why? Why to have that? So that you can clear the human collective from a place of fifth dimensional purity. All these things, every day is like an activation for us, right? Every day is some new activation that's happening. It's so accelerated right now. It's such an exciting time to be alive. So thank you for being on the journey with us.
Yeah. So a few things before we go in meditation. So we'll continue merging these energies and sharing a lot of this downloads in our work on the summer solstice. We have we have a kind of a easygoing gathering fun party on Thursday night. I think that's the 20th. Friday, we have a field trip to the megaliths in Pennsylvania. We have a van that'll take us up, and then we have a weekend retreat that weekend. We're going to really work with these energies and really share a lot of the teachings and do a lot of the things we learned. We've got sacred water. We've got honey from the temples. Amazing. So that's all on the website. And what's extraordinary is while we're doing this trip in Scotland, we didn't plan this. We have a couple members of our community, our small little group. Two of them will be in Scotland doing the activations or doing their own journey there. And Kelly and Devashri will also be in Scotland at the same time in the same places. So see how serendipitously all three happened. So it gives us the opportunity to continue. And there's a really potent portal. Scotland's got a critical piece. So, join us for that if you can. It'd be great. And Kelly will be teaching, she starts, I think, next week or this week, the Atlantean code. And she's going to really unpack what happened in Dom and her and share that information. So you can sign up for that, like one module at a time, or get into her membership.
There's going to be a woman that joins. I forget her name. Esperada. She was,
I call her Pineapple, and she's lovely and so intelligent. She's one of the original Damahurian. She was a PR person that
didn't believe in
any of it 50 years ago, and then has been there. And she's going to help Kelly teach the code, so that you can get it on. I'll put the link below in the thing. So if you want to continue and explore that energy, I don't think it's real expensive. You can do that. And the one thing I will say about the people at Dom and her, which I was really amazed at, nobody was overweight. They all were physically really fit. Even people, mature people, they all looked younger than they were, much younger than they were. And they all, nobody had any ailments, meaning they were all upright and physically fit. Our one guy was 70 something years old, who was our bus driver. I mean, he was
one of the original.
He was one of the originals too. Their skin, it was like, wow, they're definitely onto something here. So, So anyway, we'll get into that. Kelly will get into that. So there's ways for you to continue and explore and play in this work if you choose. So
Well, let's do a little meditation.
meditation. If you guys could just make sure you're all muted, that would be awesome.
And just for those joining us, we're just following the energies. We're a group consciousness. There's a group collective, group Merkaba, you could say in one way, but there's also a soul group that we're all a part of. Maybe we think we're individual, but we're not, really not. We're kind of connected, doing this work together. And the activations are just me speaking on what's happening from my perspective. So your higher self may take you in a different direction as far as the energies are going. And whatever you are receiving is perfectly what you're supposed to be getting. And so we're all in resonance. We're all in resonance. It's like we're all being activated at the same time. And so we're all creating this service
Yeah. So
service to the planet by allowing and coming together to do this work together. And so let's see what Spirit has for us today. Back straight, feet on the floor. Take a deep breath into your heart. And just engage your heart. Just feel the energy. Maybe even roll it around a little bit with your shoulders and then exhale through your heart. One more breath into the heart. Take it deeper to the secret space of your heart. Engage the diamond heart. And exhale. And you're exhaling through your heart chakra. See if you can push it front and back. One more time. Now we're going to go deep, deep into this core of your heart, right into the nexus, into Hunabku, source. Breathing in. Hold, activating Hunabku, great central sun within your heart, letting it circulate a little bit, and then exhaling. Expand your awareness now to your overall energetic system. Begin to become aware of your chakras, your auric field. You may feel certain chakras are present and activated right now. Right now, we have a root chakra and the crown chakra and the heart chakra. See if you can hold all three, an awareness of crown chakra pointing upwards. You may even feel some movement there. Root chakra pointing downwards. Feel the energy at the perineum or at the tailbone. And simultaneously at the heart, in the core of your heart. Within you, source, your connection to source. Sometimes we see in the temples the trident, the Ida, Pingala, and Sushumna channel, these energetic nadis that move through our light bodies. But this trinity is also there, root, crown, heart. It's almost like a horizontal connection into this plane, into Mother Earth. Just continue to feel your heart and allow the energies to synchronize between root and crown and heart. And you'll begin to notice that your solar plexus are kind of being pulled up into your heart. You may feel it like through your abdomen, or you feel it through your spine. But this interaction or symbiosis or synthesis between the heart and the solar plexus is a very vital connection between our third dimensional reality and our fifth dimensional heart-based soul consciousness. So see if you can breathe here and hold in your awareness solar plexus and heart. And as you do that, you may feel the energies of your sacral opening up. The energies of Kali Ma. Right now, this energy sacral is held very strongly in Bali. So just have the intention to connect with, pull that connection into your sacral chakra, the microcosm of your sacral chakra, the macrocosm at the planetary level of Mother Bali. And this trident is this electrical trident Poseidon energy that's coming in, that's activating this purification in your womb of creation, in your unconscious mind, and in the planetary unconscious. And as it begins to spin a little bit, you may notice a pulling together as if the root chakra and the sacral chakra, solar plexus are pulling into the sacral, into your stomach. And then go ahead and open up your root chakra. See it as a ring or a golden ring pointing downwards at your perineum. Have the intention to open it and activate it with the golden plasma. And we're going to begin to breathe up. So as you breathe in, you're breathing up energy from your antakarana, from planet Earth, from the telluric energies, the core of Mother Earth, the heart of Mother Earth, pulling energies up into your root chakra. Breathing in. And bring it all the way up into the heart solar plex merge point of your soul, alchemical transformation, and then exhaling it back down into the core of Mother Earth. And literally take it all the way down into the heart of Mother Earth. See that Mother Earth receives. And she's a reflection. She's like a mirror. So as you activate this energy, she's holding it for you. The solar plexus sacral chakra. It's the first. It's moving your human into your soul realization. We're just going to allow the energies to pull up with your breath. You just synchronize with the energies that you're feeling, connecting between your heart, solar plexus, unified chakra, and the heart core of Mother Earth. Now bring into your sacral chakra, into the womb of creation within you, bring in Mother Bali. The main dragon line there is called Agun, Mother Agun, the largest volcano. She's a spinner wheel for the planet. She's a spinner wheel for your Earth incarnation. And allow her to be installed, initiated into and in your sacral temple. Excellent. And as she begins to move and reside in there, you may feel like a figure-8 energy. As she's weaving her way in, creating an infinity generator within your sacral chakra, pulling up the energy from Mother Earth, grounding it in your physicality. And there's also a infinity loop that's moving down into your root chakra. And the two, root and your sacral, are merging. And as they do so, you may feel at the tailbone an energetic tail. You're activating your light body, and this is one of the additional energetic appendages that you humans have. And notice as you focus and concentrate there at your tailbone, notice how grounded you become. It's almost like you get magnetically pulled into your body and pulled into the earth. There's like a level of comfort and nourishment that you receive by being grounded and anchored in the organic, galactic grid of Mother Earth. And just continue to breathe through your tailbone, through your roots, through your sacral. Excellent. But as that energy kind of integrates together, becomes unified, you'll notice your Ajna chakra, your third eye, opening. So continuing to hold the energies of anchoring into your tail and into your hips. Bring your awareness now into your third eye. You may feel some energy kind of moving from the pineal gland at the center of your brain, kind of pushing through, creating a cylinder of purity into your ajna at the front of your third eye. And as it begins to spin, it opens up. And you've cleared your third eye chakra. So now you're receiving some information. You may feel it as light codes, you may feel it as colors or vibrations of your eyelids. You don't need to know what you're receiving, but be in the receiving of them. How does it feel? Does it feel good? Do you feel peace, a descending peace, an encompassing, nourishing peace? And is that energy informing your heart, becoming more round, more illuminated? and feeling the purity of your own love, your own self. Heart, mind, integrating through the heart, third eye connection circuit. And when you feel like circuit kind of grounding into your heart, and you feel like you've taken it into the secret space and you've been received by source, take a deep breath into your heart and take what you've received and then exhale it down through your spine, down through your root, down into Mother Earth. Allow her to hold this vibration for you, anchor it in her heart, and then see as she reciprocates and she sends a beam of energy back up through the antakrana and around your auric field. So it's like she's sealing you in this golden egg of light. As you ground these energies of heart, mind, third eye, heart field in your physical existence. Now your heart is starting to expand. It's almost like it's expanding from inside out and back. It's like you're containing through your lungs. The energy is kind of moving to the back of your spine. It's almost as if your lungs are becoming illuminated. Let's see if you can feel there's like a pulsing from the center of your heart outwards through your back and through your shoulders. You may even feel like a clearing, an illumination, just an energy of just feeling lighter, being lifted from the chest upwards. These are your energetic wings coming online. And notice as you breathe and you synchronize with the wings, there's also a cascading or a connection down from your heart, down into your sacral, down into your root. And your energetic wings are kind of falling or following that intention downwards. And you can kind of see or feel where they connect at the back of your hips, your lower back. And just feel the flood. There's like a flood of energy coming in through your third eye, down through your spine into your heart. And your heart is ballooning from the inside out. And energetically activating your wings. And at the same time, you may feel the energy coming from source, from within your own heart, traveling through the dimensions, the spheres, being realized in this physical realm through your heart field. Excellent. And just see if you can feel how your wings are kind of fully open now. See if you can feel them or imagine them or sense them. And how they're informed from the battery of your heart. The charge. Excellent. And as they illuminate, their wings are beginning to illuminate more. You may even start to feel them or be able to sense being able to move them a little bit. Maybe just like ears right now, but as they move a little bit, you may notice the energies begin to move up into your throat, clearing your throat chakra, into your pineal, into your crown. And your crown has what we call 1,000-petal lotus. Some of them point downwards, so you may feel some energy like a showering effect. But some of them point upwards, so you may feel like a crown of lotus flowers encompassing your head. Goes about 3/4 of a foot up. And from the top of that apex of that crown, you may feel like an energetic spout or an eternal flame connecting up into your galactic chakra. And you just rest your awareness first at the apex where the flame is, at the top of the lotus flower helmet. And then if you can, also rest another flower of your, or a feather of your awareness at the top of the infinite helix. And that's about 3 to 3.5 feet. It's not important that you presence it or feel it. It's important just to rest your awareness there. There's some integration happening now. We're just allowing all of the chakras to be informed by the galactic, allowing the soul star chakra 3/4 of your feet to inform our light body chakra system. And what I'm being shown is that there's this cascade of energy from both sources above and source below. Mother Earth from below is like a well up into your physicality, and then we have the galactic and the soul star chakras from above. Both of them are cascading galactic waters. We would call them plasma energy. And allow these galactic codes as galactic springs to inform the water of your body, the consciousness of your physicality. Not just the physical, but the energetic, the emotional, and the mental aspects of your water consciousness, plasma consciousness, diamond heart consciousness. You know the goddess deity Danu? Literally, you are or have activated the blueprint of the goddess deity Danu. See her energetically superimposed on your chakra system, your enlightened, opened, activated chakra system. See yourself as anchoring her into the heart of Mother Earth. So your Mother Earth is holding this holographic image of you merging with Devi Danu. And open your heart and receive her. There's no limits to you opening your heart and receiving. And breathe her in. Resurrect her within you. Surrender. Allow her to breathe you. Give control over and allow her to activate what she sees as your highest service to the cosmic plan, your highest timeline for your evolution, your unfoldment. And embodying the love of God, love of the goddess. You are the collective consciousness of Goddess Danu. And from the purity of your heart, affirm, I am Goddess Danu. He's working with each of us right now, so just whatever comes up to be released, be dissolved, to be spectralized, will be alchemized into the divine wisdom of your divine blueprint, divine essence. And just see yourself anchored in your heart, Goddess Danu, in your all of your chakras and earth, or heart chakra, soul star and galactic chakras. And now see yourself as part of the Danu collective, each of us holding a unified container and consciousness from which she may enter our realm and anchor here in Mother Earth through our intentions. And our service to the planetary awakening, planetary ascension. so that love of the mother may be the guiding force for humanity. Take one last breath into your heart. Fully expand your heart and lungs. And with your intention to anchor, send it down through your root into the heart of Mother Earth. See Mother Earth receiving, surrounding your intention in the golden egg of her love, Goddess Danube, incubating within you right here, right now. Slowly bringing your awareness back into the body, through your crown, up through your root, through your heart, through all your chakras, fully open, fully aware, all channels expanded, enlivened, and anchored. And when you feel yourself back in your physicality, fully anchored, begin to move your ears, fingers, toes, slowly opening your eyes.
Namaste.
Namaste.